Welcome to Midcard Maniacs. I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And today we're going to be talking about dream matches that can happen with AEW working with Impact. So with these two promotions working together, hopefully for a longer time than it's being reported, some people are saying it's only a one-off situation, but we're going to play with this a little bit. Talking about dream matches and Impact, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. I think most notably is going to be in the tag division with the return of Motor City Machine Guns and with the Young Bucks over in AEW. I think that would be a phenomenal match and something that, sure, it's happened before.
Yeah, they would have been Generation Me.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day. So if anything, realistically, there's 4 teams that could make this either like separate matches or one crazy tag team turmoil match. And that's having the Bucks, FTR, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Good Brothers.
Yeah, the Good Brothers seems like the most... I think the Good Brothers and Young Bucks beefing is just... It's going to be great. Like, that just seems like it writes itself. And I've seen Motor City Machine Guns and FTR talking to each other on Twitter. Though that would be great. Where it happens, who knows? That's what I'm curious about. Like, assuming that this isn't a one-off thing, are we going to have an Impact AEW invasion where we do have, maybe some of the tag teams just coming over to AEW and vice versa? I think it would be great for both companies, and I want to see Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR. I think that would be badass.
Even the North. Like, there's another team that you throw in there that would have, like, fantastic tag matches with FTR or the Young Bucks.
That's true. That would be so good. And that's something that I think both Impact fans and AEW fans can get on board with. I think that we can have some cool things here. Now, if we're talking about singles wrestlers, who would we want to see in the singles division? Omega versus Rich Swann would be awesome. It would be a great match. I'd love to see Chris Bay and Omega go at it because that would be absolutely nuts.
When you're looking at Impact wrestlers, you look at people like Chris Bay, you look at Rich Swann, even Eric Young or like Willie Mack,
oh yes,
like them going at it. This is what makes it interesting. Is like you have so many different potential people on Impact and AEW.
Right, like you can intermix everything. Yeah. Like give me Brian Cage going against Willie Mack. Like they've gone head to head before and they've had great matches and I want to see more of it. Talking about the women's division, I'd love to see Jordynne Grace versus basically anybody. Like I want to see Jordynne Grace versus Layla Hirsch. They have like a very similar like hard-hitting style and I think that would be awesome. And Layla Hirsch is the type of person that like Jordynne Grace is kind of beefier and Layla Hirsch could likely like deadlift her in a suplex and I think that would be awesome. Oh, I just thought of it. This is the best one.
Okay.
Demon Bunny is coming back together because we've got Allie on AEW. We've got Rosemary. They were buds on Impact before. That would be just like an awesome thing to happen. Or Kimberly is also in Impact now. And Allie used to be with her back in the day and they were called like the Kimber Bombs. Like this was ages ago. So that would be a really fun like either tag team match, just like a temporary tag team.
I think if there's one Impact women wrestler, I would love to see just like go be like, I'm better than all AEW women wrestlers, Tenille Dashwood.
Tenille Dashwood, I'd be for it.
She just steps on the scene and is like, I'm better than anyone in AEW.
Actually, this writes itself because lately I've noticed that Anna Jay, who's kind of like that in AEW right now, has been wearing the same gloves that Tenille Dashwood is known for wearing. That's good stuff. And then, of course, I want to see Shida versus Taya Valkyrie.
For me, looking at it from a fantasy booking perspective, the potential that I want is the swerves. Because Impact Wrestling and AEW have a past together in the sense that a lot of AEW wrestlers on their current roster did come from Impact Wrestling. So there is that like toying idea, if they were to do an invasion angle, is are you truly AEW or are you truly Impact?
Ooh, yeah.
They're going to have to poke fun of the Young Bucks as being Generation Me. It's going to have to come up. Sting had this dominant run in Impact Wrestling with as Sting and in the main event Mafia. So there's all this history with all these wrestlers, but at the same time, you could do the swerve where like the Good Brothers are the ones who are like, oh, Impact will never turn. And then they turn on Impact because they have stronger ties
with the Young Bucks and
with
stuff.
the Young Bucks from New Japan.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Like, there's a lot of potential here, and I want to see it all happen. Another fun reunion would be Sami Callihan and Jon Moxley, this would be one of the bigger events as the Switchblade Conspiracy, as they used to tag together back in CZW ages ago, and they were beefing as well at one point. So the fact that they can maybe even tease that they're going to team together and then one of them just turns around and clubs the other is fantastic, because that could main event a pay-per-view. I want to see a cross-promotion pay-per-view.
Like a one night only.
One night only. Here are your best feuds. Like, they could put together like an 8-match card that would absolutely shatter the wrestling world. Everyone would be like, this is the best match of the year, because you don't see them.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really great about the cross promo, is that these are matches that you're never really going to see again unless people like leave one promotion and join the other.
Yeah, and like what would be really awesome is Impact Wrestling in their earlier days, they used to do like the World Tournament where you had like Team Canada, Team Mexico, like Team USA. Having this style of like tournament matches where everyone forms their squad, just do something where it's like, we want to prove that we're the best of the best. So I don't care if you choose 2 people from Impact and 2 people from AEW, you're forming a squad and making this tournament to be like, we are going to be the first time ever interpromotional champion. Like a one night only tournament. Like how like Survivor Series is to WWE, but like King of the Ring meets Survivor Series.
That's something I can absolutely get behind. I think that would be amazing.
You would have great storytelling on both shows, but then you would have also that like hilarious comedic aspect where you have someone like Heath trying to like, yeah, like I'm like the best free agent, and then you have Pretty Peter Avalon, like them trying to like form a squad, like this like reject squad.
Oh, you're right. That's the buy-in. That's the pre-show. That's for sure. That sounds glorious, and I hope something like this comes out of it, and I hope this isn't a one-night only thing. What do you guys think? Tell us what your dream matches are if Impact and AEW do have a long-term working relationship, or even just like a one big pay-per-view event. Let us know in the comments. Like this video, and if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything Midcard Maniacs.
Yep.